Guys, welcome back to my channel Eco Designs to Fit. In this tutorial we'll be learning how to draft your double-breasted jacket, just like my previous video on how to draft your notched collar jacket. But the difference between a notched collar jacket and this double-breasted blazer is just that this one is kind of overlapped on each other, okay, but the other one you don't have any sort of overlapping going on it. Okay, so this you can see my pattern paper. I've already drafted out my basic body. If you don't know how to draft your basic bodice pattern, I will link the tutorial on my description box below. Okay, so you could go have a look. All right, so I've already drafted my back pattern. Remember, on my previous tutorial I told you that before you do this, first and foremost draft your back block. Okay, so I used my back block to trace this front. The only difference here is that I've already marked out the overlap, which I used 3.5 inches. You can go as far as using 4 inches, whatever, however you want the overlap to look. Okay, if you want it very bigger than this, you could use 5 inches, 4 inches. Okay, so for me here I use 3.5 inches. You can see my neckline, which I use 3.5 inches in depth, and the width I used 3.5 inches. Also, this is my shoulder slant, and this is shoulder princess dart. Okay, if you also don't know how to draft this, I have it on my channel. And for the extension, the length of this dress will be extending below the hip line. This is my bust line, this is my waist, hip, and the length of my blazer. Guys, you can see I had to add a little bit of paper because I forgot. I was supposed to leave some space here before marking out my neck. Okay, the next thing I'll be doing right now is to come up by 1 inch. Okay, this is where I want my lapel to fall. That is the breaking line. Okay, unlike the other tutorial, I had to start from somewhere here. Okay, because this is an overlap, this had to start from here. What I'll be doing next is to connect from this point to this. Okay, so this is my breaking point for the lapel. Okay, and the next thing I'll be doing right now is to determine how I want my lapel, like the length of my lapel. And here I want it to be sort of 2 inches. Okay, so from here I'll connect. And the next thing is to use like my curved ruler to connect, depending on the shape you want for this lapel. Okay, as for me, I want it to be in form of this shape, so what I'll be doing is to connect from here down to this. Okay, remember, you can give it any shape you want. Okay, you can even go like this and curve it this way. Okay, so from here I will go up by 1.5 inch, okay, and then I'll connect from here to this, okay. But before then, remember I've cut out my back piece, and our back is kind of not straight, it's sort of curvy. All right, I will still tell you what to do with this. Okay, so now I'll measure my back neckline, which I have 4.25. Okay, so here I'll come up by 4.25. This is 4.25, and I will use a slightly curved ruler to connect this. Okay, and then remember what I told you about the back neck, which is curvy. Okay, so for this my collar to relax well, I'm going to be coming out by 0.25. okay, can equally use 1/2 inch. Okay, let me use 1/2 inch. My previous tutorial I used 0.25, but for now let's try out 1/2 inch. So I will also use a slightly curved ruler and connect from here, joining it to this point. And then now I want to use 2.5. This is how bold I want my collar to look. Okay, so I'll be using 2.5. okay, please, you have to neglect this. Okay, so you can see where this line sort of intersects. Okay, so this is where I'll be coming up. So what I'll be doing now is to come in by 1.5, exactly what I did here before I cancelled it, and then connect diagonally to this. Okay, so now I'll use my slightly curved ruler again to connect from here to here. Remember, this line is supposed to be as the same as this is 2.5, so I have to make this one 2.5 inches equally. So this is it. Now I'll connect. Okay, so here we go. This is it for your double-breasted blazer, which is quite very simple. Okay, the next thing I'll be doing right now is to you can either bring the lightest form of this paper stay, okay, and trace this out, and again you can equally just trace it out and Okay, remember I've not added my seam allowance. Okay, I will do that whenever I want to cut this out using my fabric. So this is how to cut this off because we are done drafting the pattern. So from here I'll start by cutting this out. And please don't forget, I forgot something, don't forget to label this. Like, this is an arrow showing this is where I'll connect to my blazer, and this place I'll be cutting on fold. Okay, this is what I do in order not to confuse myself. All right, because this thing can be very confusing. So I'll be cutting this out. Sorry guys, like my light went off, so I had to adjust it. So this is it for my collar. If I want to cut this on using a fabric, I'll cut on fold, like I'll fold my pieces, then use this to trace it out, and I'll be adding 1/2 inch seam allowance on all sides apart from here, which I'll be cutting on fold. Okay, this one aside, the next thing I'll do is to cut this. I bet you can see that this is very simple. Okay, so this is the lapel. You can see, so easy. And this is where the can see, this is how it's supposed to by the time I finish joining it. Okay, and after I'm done cutting, don't forget to label this, okay, so as not to get yourself confused. All right, so what I'll be doing now is to label this my center front and my side front. Okay, I will also do the same to the back. Do the same to this back part and cut this out, label this, your center back and your side back. And remember, I'll be, by the time I cut this off, I'll be cutting this out. So cut this into two. This is my back piece. By the time I want to cut on my fabric, I will leave 1/2 inch seam allowance for this back. Remember, I've added my seam allowance on the side, so I won't be adding any seam allowance by the time I want to cut on my fabric. The only place I'll be adding allowances are this part of my dress. So guys, this is the end of this tutorial. If you enjoy every bit of this tutorial, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Please kindly share this video to your family and friends, and leave a comment on the comment section. Please follow us on our Instagram and Facebook, Eco Designs to Fit. Guys, until my next video, see you.